excited for the challenge that lies ahead in TCU, and Rob Mullins, our athletic director, who's here, and on behalf of President Schill, thank them, and I will intervene on some questions I know that are coming up, but Matt Lubick will be calling the plays tomorrow, and then also will be the offensive coordinator in going forward, period. We don't want this to be a sideshow. A job kind of audition against Gary Patterson is not your best one to be judged against, so we want to try to keep that off the table, and Lube's done a great job, as well as the rest of our offensive staff, trying to plan to attack against TCU. So excited about that, excited about our players and how they've prepared, and again looking forward to the challenge of tomorrow night.
Unfortunate for him, because Trayvon is meant so much to TCU, and we love him. I mean, but he understands, and it wasn't even a conversation between him and I. I talked to him later, but it's one of those situations. He was there at curfew, and then we find out. I get a call early in the morning that he wasn't at curfew. So, everybody makes decisions, and what I hope, and one of the weird things we stand behind in our program is that you can help people, and young people especially, learn from it. Because here's the thing that I don't think very many people realize, because it wasn't just Trayvon that had to go home, but nobody asked about the other guy. See, that's the thing that disappoints me. Nobody asked about the other guy. There was two that had to go home. Just like anybody else, I'm a fan. I want to see Vernon versus Trayvon. I mean, when you stand on the sideline, coaches are kind of like fans. You want to see all of it. You came here, you got to the end of the year, you want that last ball game to be everything you want, and hopefully it is. But that's the disappointing thing, that just for the kids and for him, that all of them, that they didn't get a chance to be a part of all of it. And so this is one experience that he didn't finish it off. He's not going to be a part of.
Mark, when did you come to the decision to Lubick the O coordinator?
I don't know if there was an exact moment. I think Matt is an outstanding football coach. He's extremely detail oriented. He's a very good recruiter. The players really take to him, just tireless. He's been on both sides of the ball. He can approach it from the secondary perspective, a total defensive perspective, as well as a quarterback or receiver, or running back, or a front. And I think just as a group, our continuity as an offensive staff is a big strength. And he was kind of the outsider that came in and added a bunch to it, and at the same time meshed into a great group. And so I don't remember the day. It's probably a culmination of years and being around him and seeing him operate. Yeah, I think it was one of you guys that said it was a job interview or audition, and that's how it was approached. And I remember answering that question. And again, like I said, I didn't want every third and inches have a split screen of Gary Patterson and Matt Lubick and going, this is his job on the line. It's not that. It's our players against their players, and they're really good, and we try to prepare our guys to play against.
How comfortable are you with having Coach Lubick play calls? He's never done it before, he said yesterday. Going against Coach Patterson's team is going to be a very difficult time to do that for your first time. Talk about that.
Yeah, we've drilled it, and again, it will be his first time, and it's always funny of communicating with guys on the headsets. This isn't the first time we've ever communicated that way. We've done a lot more called situational work throughout the bowl prep than we would normally do. And that's good for the offense and the defense, and for our players to try to kind of improvise more than just script it. But so much of what you do on game day is predetermined. Coach Patterson has his short yardage situations, red zone, second and long, all the things that you kind of parcel out in a game plan they're done. They're laminated and ready to go, and you do that collectively, and then you try to get in the best situation. On Tuesday, you're trying to predetermine what the best situation is to be on game day, and so much of it is just staying organized, staying a play ahead, and anticipating those scenarios. And then obviously they're gonna do something a little bit differently. We'll see if he can divulge that here today, but that we'll have to adjust to.
Gary, can you just talk about for your guys, what kind of a feel or attitude-wise have you seen from them in the 24 hours since they found out that Trayvon wouldn't be playing with them?
We had a great practice yesterday. It's one of the things about happened to us is they played without him before. And so you have to go forward. I think the other thing that helps us is we watch the film, we understand the kind of football team that we're playing. You have a team that played for a national championship a year ago. A couple players are gone, but a lot of them are back. They've been in this kind of venue. They understand the bright lights. And, the hard thing for me is just focusing in on, we've had to play, because of all the injuries we've had through the season, we've had to play 30 freshmen, 15 redshirt and 15 true. And so for me, really more of the focus is getting them to understand with everything going on around them. Because you can't, when you're at home or you're on the road, you have your hotel, there's not anybody around, and you can isolate them and really get them to hone in what you're trying to get accomplished. And, this afternoon, look, gentlemen, we're not going to go below the third floor. We're going to stay up here. We're going to get done. And they know all their friends, all their relatives are downstairs. Everything's going on, all the hoopla.
Hey, Gary, the police report said there was a group with Trevon on a couple nights ago. Did you have to make a decision to let some players play and yet suspend two?
Nope, only two that I know. You should have had them come talk to me since it was a group, because I didn't see a group.
Mark, over here. Will Matt continue to coach receivers, or do you expect to hire a quarterbacks coach or receivers coach?
That is kind of to be determined. We've got a great pool. We've got a plan, I think, that I'm very excited about that is probably going to happen. But he's very versatile. The people that we're talking to on the outside are very versatile. And so after the game, we'll address that. But it's kind of a to be determined type of situation there in a very healthy, good way.
You've addressed your offensive coordinator situation. Your defense has struggled a little bit in some games this year. How comfortable are you with the way Don Pelham has coordinated the defense, and will he be the defensive coordinator going forward?
Well, everybody has to get better. Somebody asked me a similar question the other day, and I'm never going to, I could get fired tomorrow. My boss, he might fire me right after this press conference. I don't know. And we all have to improve, every single one of us. We've learned that around the world for a long, long time in sport. Win now and do it exactly this way and shut everybody out and score 50, and reality is somewhere in between. But we all have to get better, starting with me. And do we need to play better on defense? Absolutely. We need to play better on special teams? Absolutely. We need to play better on offense? Absolutely. And again, that all starts with me.
Coach Helfrich, can you give us a comparison of TCU to other teams in the Pac-12 on both sides of the ball? Do they remind you of anyone else?
Well, offensively, they have not a great combination of kind of the Washington State, Air Raid, Mike Leach angle combined with several teams that have us, whether it's Utah or us or who's the other? Well, kind of an Arizona State run game. So those things, they do a great job of combining those two things well. They have a few more formations than some of those teams, and obviously each quarterback has some nuances, although they have a core of things that they do regardless. Defensively, there's not really anybody like them in our conference. Obviously, when you invent a defense, there's going to be a lot of people that try to copy it. The Pac-12 is a lot more 3-4 than the Big 12, and so there's some differences there. And then special teams, they're whoever's really fast and can run and tackle. And you've got returners that have times that go 10.0 something and 10.2 something. That's we don't have too many of those guys lying around either. But very fast, very sound, tough, and so a combination of all those things.